Diggin something new, copyright 2020, don't use without owner's permission. Sample copy.
Hi, thanks for stopping by with me, Annie, on Digging Into Something New. I have here with me today TMH, or Trevor Hastings. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you. So, when did you start learning music?
Honestly, when I started learning music was like way back in 2011. My mom had this iPad, and she was like, "Here, you can have it." And I was like, oh, "Thank you."
Who
and so,
doesn't want one?
exactly. So I decided to mess around with it for a little bit, and then she bought me GarageBand. It was only $5, and I was like, oh, I could finally make like my own music and everything. So I was really excited. So I decided to like make music with like the pre-made loops on it, and I was like, wow, I'm actually making stuff like this. So I made like a little demo records when it came to me. However, then James Rice, he's one of my best friends and one of the greatest people I have ever had the privilege to meet. Him and we started making music as a techno anthem. We've already had our own kind of bands that were going on. We called ourselves Three Part Way, and then UFOs with his brother and another one of my best friends, John Rice. And but then like none of those were really going anywhere. So he was just kind of like, why don't we just start something with just you and me, you know? And Techno Anthem was born.
That sounds awesome. I'm so excited. Before we play a piece, for those of us who do not know, what is a loop recording?
A pre-made loop. It's practically just it comes with the studio. Like you're not actually making it. It's just kind of in there. So in a way, take it like you have like a pre-made loop that's like from the app, like a drum. It's already like you didn't make it. It's already there. It's just kind of more like it's there for you to mix in together and make your own song instead of just like you doing it very professionally.
Oh, well, that sounds interesting for those who don't know where to start to use that program. So, let's go ahead and hear the young version with Techno Anthem.
Audio ever since.
Diggin something new, copyright 2020, don't use without owner's permission. Sample copy.
Listen up, this is a story about two kids. One is awesome and the other's losing. One day they met when they were snapping, but you never know, it could always happen. I'm sick with the rhyme, I'm infected. Since 2010, we've been perfected. One for Jam Kid and two for me. Three for our friends and four for our families. Music is a lie that'll never stop us because it don't rush in, and that's because we are like Michael Jackson.
Him and I still remember the lyrics,
They like to sing,
like
they like to
100%.
game to be famous, but you never know because you can't really tame us. This beat's nice, this beat's so mean. Don't you try to screw us up with any of your schemes. This is the story. This is the story. This is the story about two kids.
That reminds me a little bit of Crisscross, like their jump, but not exactly, just a little bit.
Gosh, I would definitely say Chris Cross definitely inspired at least my part in Techno Anthem since they were like kids and doing their own thing, and I was like, James and I could be something like that.
So, 2011, how old were you?
I think I was like 12 turning 13.
So, junior high.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Now, who was who? Because there was um, one chorus, a second chorus, and or and then your. Did I say that wrong?
Okay, there's a
The
first
first
verse,
verse, second verse, and then chorus.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. So who started it? It was James. We kind of like did like this trade back and forth kind of thing where he does his thing and do my thing, and then we go straight into the hook, and then we just kind of finish it off with like our final verses, and then just end it with "This is the story. This is the story. This is the story about two kids." And we really were like ready to make some music at that time, so we were both really excited.
You're a bit young to be ready. I'm impressed actually.
Yeah, yeah, and Techno Anthem lasted a lot longer than James and I really thought it was going to. We disbanded back in 2016 because we had a lot of stuff going on. We both were going through different high schools and everything, but he's still one of my greatest friends, and I can easily say the same thing with John. So, James, John, if you're listening and watching, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, do you have a song with the three of you?
Oh, definitely. One I always wanted to play. It was called "Remember," featuring Beat Boy. It's definitely one of our favorites, if anything. We had a music video. It was like a little montage to just pretty much like us just being boys. That's it.
All right. Well, did you bring that with you today?
I did.
All right. Can we go ahead and get that queued up, please? Thank you.
Should be track 11.
Did you remember what we had?
No.
Oh yeah, it is.
The things that we had last. I'm still here, I'm not living in the past. I'll keep going on, not stop. I'm so hard, I'm like hard to
I'm
rock.
digging it. Reminds me of my teenage years.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of our final songs that we made together, and it was definitely like one of our favorites, indeed.
I know it might look dorky right now, but I don't care. This sounds great. And how old were you guys?
This was 2014, so we were all turning like 16.
16.
Yeah.
I'm, like I said, impressed. Who's this?
This one's me.
I kind of thought so. Who was the other one?
The other one who started it off was James.
Okay.
And the upcoming verse is gonna be John.
Okay.
You were my lover. Now I'm a stranger. You keep ignoring me, it makes it damn hard. Girl, you know there ain't no.
Now, was this one you guys made, or is this somebody else's you did a cover for?
This one is our song. We pretty much did some pre-made loops on GarageBand and everything. And I showed the guys, and they were like, dude, this is great. We need to use this. And so we spent like the entire day just making it. And then like the next morning, we went straight into recording it for our... and it was one of the lead singles for our final records, Made in America.
Oh. And if somebody wanted to download those, where would they be at?
If they check out my YouTube channel, it's one of the linked channels into my channel. So you can find Techno Anthem on my channel.
Do you have it anywhere else?
Anyway, we do have a Bandcamp, we have a SoundCloud, and they are like hidden in my Facebook because how old they are.
But they could go to SoundCloud, type in
Oh yeah,
TMH and find it.
TMH or Techno Anthem, and then it should be there. Yeah. Yeah, it's still one of my favorite Techno Anthem songs that we've made. Yeah, the song was just practically all about like, hey, we had something back in middle school, and since we're all going into high school, we were just kind of like, do you remember me? It was kind of like that, like little like teenage story. We were definitely like a teen rap pop like band.
So, is this song about any special girl, or
Not
just...
any. It's just a random song that we just kind of got out of the top of our heads.
Okay.
I want to go and hug you, but you don't want that. There's things that I wish I don't remember.
Definitely got a beat.
Oh yeah, that was the thing with our name, Techno Anthem. We knew we had to like put some techno or at least EDM into our music.
Speaking of EDM, for those of us again who don't know, what is that?
Electronic dance music.
Ah, I'm definitely dancing. But what is electronic dance? Like
Electronic dance, it's definitely like, for me personally, it's just like a lot of electronic instruments, like say like synths or keyboards or a drum kit, and it's just music, like electronic music that's programmed to make you dance, make you like not want to sit still. That's always been like my definition of EDM.
So it's not a physical device. It's
definitely
through a physical device, but you're not actually playing the beats.
I wouldn't say it like that. It's kind of more like if you had like a keyboard and everything, something like that, or like that's how I would make EDM, with like all like the keyboards and the drum kit and everything.
So you still have to push.
Yeah, you
buttons
definitely
and
have to like still play instruments.
Basically, you're not carrying it around with a case.
Yeah, it's not like you're like carrying like a guitar or drum kit and everything like
That'd
that.
get kind of heavy.
Yeah, I mean it would still be dance music, but it wouldn't be like all electronic and everything like that, you know.
Well, that sounded fantastic. And for the age that you guys made it, I'm, again, impressed.
Oh yeah, we
Hey, it's me, Annie, from Diggin' Something New. I found Anchor by researching how to podcast. Anchor has many creative tools allowing you to create and edit from the comfort of your computer or phone. Anchor also distributes your podcast to many distributors, such as Apple Podcast. As an added bonus, it allows you to make money. So go ahead, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
we all agreed that we kind of sucked back then.
I don't think so, but our viewers will let us know later.
Exactly. It's all
Because-
personal taste, right?
Ultimately, I'm going to put a poll out and we'll find out what the results will be on the following podcast. But I personally loved it. So, let's see. Are you guys going to get back together as Techno?
Oh, we actually talked about it because I bumped into John at the mall and everything, and him and we were really talking. And since James is doing his own thing right now and won't be back in like another couple of years, we're talking about it. It's definitely a possibility, but I can 100% say that we are at least talking about it. And I don't think the guys would mind if like us getting back together, but it's definitely because if we do get back together, we would make a lot of better stuff. Like no matter what we do now, it'll be better than anything we made back in the past.
So, basically, in a couple years or so, we might get a regrouping of Tech Nine.
Yeah. Tech Nine?
Or,
Techno Anthem.
Techno Anthem.
I mean, it'd be great if we
Sorry.
got Tech Nine and Techno Anthem. That'd be fantastic.
So ultimately, it sounds like you guys, and does James and John make their own music separately now without
Yes,
you?
they do. James has his own SoundCloud and everything, and every time I see him on Facebook, he's always teasing some new stuff. And that's the same with John, too. They always post, like, a lot of them doing freestyles and all that, and I would definitely say check them out because they've always had talent, and I knew they've always had talent.
So freestyle is basically, I'm going to reference 8 Mile, where they're in the garage taking turns dropping beats.
Exactly. It's just, like, coming up with rap lyrics in like on the top of your head, not writing them down. It's practically that.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I love 8 Mile. That was an awesome movie.
8 Mile's great.
Yeah, it was. So, you go by Trevor Hastings on some of your music and TMH. Why?
Mostly because TMH is like my main music persona. That's what I want to go by. That's my stage name. That is everything I do. However, I only do Trevor Hastings when it comes to my side project, Flowers for My Valentine, because there's a difference between that. TMH is more my main like stuff. Definitely more when it comes to like EDM or rap. And Flowers for My Valentine is definitely more like love related, more with like ambient and synth pop.
Ah, ambient. For those of us, again, like me, who do not know, what's that?
I've always like called it like a fancy name for lullaby music. It's something like you would want to fall asleep to in a way.
So, if I had one of those clocks that do the sounds and we could put your music in there, that would put us to sleep.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, like well, when it comes to my ambient music, I try to like combine a lot of stuff, like definitely still like not EDM but electronica or maybe a little more like classical music and everything because like when I did have a lot of Flowers for My Valentine stuff, it was definitely more of a mix of genres. But now, since I reissued it all into just like one 10-track record called Our Dark Garden, it's definitely more a mixture of synth pop and ambient music.
And synth pop. For those of us who don't know, like me, what's that?
It's pretty much just pop music, but with like a lot of like keyboard synths and synths like plugins and all that and everything. For example, like 80s synth pop bands like Depeche Mode or Yazoo or Erasure.
Okay. I am not familiar with that kind of genre. I normally do country, oldies, and the 90s rap. Totally love that stuff. Which your music intrigued me because it appeals to my high school days. Do you have something here with us that shows the ambient and synth pop?
I do, actually. If you go into the file of Our Dark Garden, one of the songs on there, that's practically one of, like, probably my favorite song when it comes to Flowers for My Valentine. It's called Vincent Van Gogh.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate it.
It's a good mixture of piano, pop, synth pop and ambient music in my eyes, and it's definitely one of my favorite songs that I've ever made.
When did you make it?
This was back in 2016, actually.
Okay. So 3 years ago.
Yeah, this was all when I actually started to make my own original music and not rely on pre-made loops. So this is all original and all me. So it definitely like touches my heart in a way.
That's fantastic.
It's definitely more of a reflection of Vincent Van Gogh's like biography or like his life. Because I'm such an art nerd when it comes to Vincent Van Gogh. So like he's always been like one of my favorite artists, like painting wise. So and finding out that he lived a sad life, I've always been like very touched with it because he was a very talented man, but he got famous after.
Diggin something new. Copyright 2020. Don't use without owner's permission. Sample copy.